Okay, so we are on Sutra 337. Tataha Pratibha Sravana Vedena Adarsa Asvada Varta Jayante. From this knowledge arises superphysical hearing, touching, seeing, tasting, and smelling through spontaneous intuition. Yes, it's the best. This is Samyama. This is Autobiography of a Yogi. This is kind of the point, right? Is for us to rise above or get past the confines of like what we consider to be possible or even true, right? So this whole idea of if I look at something, I will know everything about it. Every single thing about it that I'll just know. And then I'll be able to see beyond what's tangibly right in front of me. I speak to this all the time when I teach. We're all intuitive. We're all intuitive. And I think that, somewhere along the way when we're growing up, we learn to sort of shut these pieces off rather than encourage and nurture them. As yogis, I feel like we're trying to get back to where we came from. I think we're trying to get back to that depth of spirituality that we are actually born with. That space of honoring that we sort of shift between two worlds, between two energetic spaces, and somewhere, socially, probably, mostly, we're taught that that's strange. The imaginary person you play with when you're a child, is that person actually there or not, right? Yoga says yes, absolutely. That intuitive space and trusting it so much so that it really does become the soul's mind in that space that leads and guides you through your life. It's listening to it. It's etching out that path so that we don't have to karmically repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again. This is one of my most favorites because I am an absolute believer in all of this. I think it's I think we put our mind in a box, and I think we put our bodies in a box, and I think we put our hearts in a box. I do. And to break through those walls becomes a really sweet, important piece of sort of graduating soulfully, right? 38. Te samadhav upasarva vyutain siddhayaha. So these obstacles to nirbija, samadhi, but are siddhis, powers or accomplishments in the worldly pursuits. So these super physical senses are obstacles. Wait, what? I thought this was the whole point, right? I thought that getting past the confines of my mind and my body, blah, blah, blah. My blah, blah, blah. It's true. I thought that was the whole point. But these super physical senses are obstacles to nirbija. And nirbija is seedless. It's seedless. It's without past impression. Think about when you plant something, right? We put it in the ground and it's got to be nurtured and cultivated to grow. The idea is that we're past the seeded impressions, that with bija, right, we still have that, even though we're living in the world and we're on the right path and the mind is clear and we're in meditation and we're listening to our intuitive space, those past impressions still sit in that ground, dormant or not, right, with seed. So nirbija is seedless. It's kaivalya. It's absolute. So these superphysical senses are obstacles to nirbija, but are siddhis. They are accomplishments. Of course they are. Whenever we get past anything, in any idea, whenever we get past, you can't do that, or I'm not good enough, or that's impossible, or no, I don't do that. The moment we get past that patterning, those are accomplishments. We've accomplished something, and something that should absolutely be observed and honored, because that's a big deal. When you get past a pattern that's been built into you, maybe since day one, maybe since before that, when we get past that patterning and we realize that, oh my God, I am good enough, or I do deserve to be loved, or I can actually do that, or we stop saying anything's impossible. This is a big deal, and it changes us as human beings in the world. But it also allows us to exhaust karma that's attached to all that bullshit that we strike off our own plates, right? We'll stop there. We'll do 37 and 38. So just think about, one, always trying to get past the patterning, and that's all we're doing in the practice, is how do I get cleaner, clearer, more truthful, kinder, gentler, more honest, so that I can be a better human being in the world. And I feel more authentically in my space of self. Because when you live in your true power, when you live in who you actually are, not worried about what anyone thinks about it, not worried about how someone or some circumstance may take it, this is beautiful, soulful living. This is genuine. And it's deeply crucial. Think about how many of us live in a space of duality, or, I've got to be this person at work, and I'm this person at home, and I'm this, but that's not authentic. Because your true self should be the same regardless of where you go. And sometimes that's very difficult. So, all good. And, when you turn your intuitive space on, when you start to hear things that maybe are not right there, or you start to see people bigger, color, whatever it might be, you see stories, just trust that space. Your intuition always tells you. It always tells you. Trust it. All right, Shanti.